Mr. Junisa Precious Gbeteh Sullo Kallon was interviewed by Global Newsline at NMBC's annual business conference, which focused on forging business connections with West African nations like Sierra Leone, Senegal, and Gambia.
Hi, my name is Dr. Nadim Iqbal, and I have a Global Newsline channel on YouTube, and I just wanted to talk to you. You did the presentation at the NMBC Africa conference today, which is Saturday, May 4th. And you spoke very well. So tell me something about you, your name and what you do.
My name is Ambassador Junisa Precious Gbeteh Sullo Kallon. I serve as Director General for a non-profit called the Youth Association in Sierra Leone. I'm also a serving Chief Executive Officer of GNL Investment, a private sector establishment. Overall, I'm also serving as African Tourism Board Ambassador to the Republic of Sierra Leone, among several other diplomatic and non-diplomatic portfolios which I work within. So I was fortunate to be part of the National Muslim Business Council Global Conference here in Raleigh, North Carolina, from the 3rd to the 5th. And my mission here is to see how we further amplify sustainable foreign direct investment for the Republic of Sierra Leone. In my presentation, as I highlighted, too long we have been complaining that diaspora are not being involved in the process. We are now here. We're telling you to come back home as African Americans, as Muslim nations, as Islamic family members. Come back to Africa. Let us make the necessary change we want to see. You come to Sierra Leone, we have adequate facilities and land to make you establish factories.
Yeah, my understanding is that West Africa is now at the verge of flying, right? In terms of the population, younger population, very enthusiastic. There's a revolution going on. They probably coming to know themselves more, and they want to be independent on their own and want to remove all the colonialism from there. So what you have input about that?
Well, I want to say thanks to His Excellency President Julius Maada for him being a trailblazer on the continent. He's the first man to tell the entire country that 30% of his quota, whether the administrative, judiciary, or legislative, there should be women. He's the first man to ever in the Republic of Sierra Leone to appoint over 60% of his entire cabinet within the age of 30 to 40. The youngest member of parliament in Sierra Leone is 28 years old. Wow. So we have Senegal doing the same work. The youngest president ever in Africa at age 40. So we are setting the pace.
So and that's a great idea that you want to do it now yourself. You don't want to depend on anybody.
Nobody's going to do it for us. You go to
You're
Asia,
on your own, right?
You see China. The Chinese are doing it for themselves. You go to India. The Indians are Singapore. We got independence at the same time with Singapore. Where is Singapore today? Where is Sierra Leone today? So we have to.
So there is no more fatherly figure anywhere.
We are not looking for that.
Yes.
We're tired of pointing fingers at colonial masters. It's time for us to take responsibility as upcoming generation. In as much as my dad and my mom put me through school, as part of my responsibility said the knowledge being embedded in me in school to generate revenue to sustain me in going further. So at the time they're old, I won't be going back to say, Mom, Dad, I need money. That's why you were educated. That's why you went through a channel. That's why you went through a system. So you going through the system of colonization, slave trade, and all that. Today we have all synchronized. We have the aspect of being called African American, Asian American, European American. So we need to consolidate on the richness of our diversified culture.
My understanding that you are traveling a lot from country to country.
Yes, it's my capacity as African Tourism Board Ambassador as a diplomat. I move a lot to promote the Republic of Sierra Leone, and I do that graciously, mostly at my expense. It is something you do.
Yes.
If you don't do it, who else is going to do it for you?
Who's going to do it for you? Definitely.
We visit to every young African and every young Sierra Leonean. Stop the complaining. Stop the pointing of fingers. Take action. If somebody sits on your head or hits you in the head and stop you, get up, dust yourself, do it again. Do it again. Do it again until you get the desired result. Imagine the person that invented electricity. If he had stopped at 99th time, to do it. So the contrast here is we need to change the narrative. Change the narrative, come into you understanding what is needed, what must be tackled at what time, and what can be the desired result.
So what is your advice for other African and also Asian people like Pakistan? We are in a big shamble over there, politically and economically and everything. So how you can
For member
help
states
them
that are in
get out?
with security concerns and ongoing conflicts, my humble candid appeal to you as a peace ambassador: consolidate the peace, come together as a unit, regardless of your political indifferences or tribal imbalance or religious imbalance. Come together, especially you, the young people of those member states. I'm not talking about the old folks; they're already gone. They're old. The worst they can do is do what they're doing and get rich and die. We are the ones who are going to be left with economic turmoil. We're the ones that with debt
The young
repayment.
people,
So we need to come together.
young people
We need to
are,
be
need to
united.
take the control, right?
And you cannot take up on any major development without unity. Even the Bible, as a Christian, says it. Even the Quran, as a Muslim, says it. When you are all together, it's hard for somebody. You may be pulled around, you may be pulled off, but you are together. So if you're just alone, when you're pulled off, you might be finding difficult to bounce back and come back to your original state. So it is very paramount that we teach these simple things to our youngsters. You don't need to amplify. You don't need to have all the PhDs or doctorates. You need to have the consciousness to understand that you need to come to the fold and deliver something. America has the common saying: don't talk about what America does to you, talk about what you do for America.
The leadership always come from the common people, not from the PhDs or the masters.
Exactly. But
Because
in
they are
Africa,
closest to the people.
the psychological ramification of the go through a certain period of learning, get a certain number of degrees before you feel accomplished. Says who? Why is Mark Zuckerberg only graduating after he became a billionaire? So these are all mechanisms. You have the time you can complete in business. The Nigerians are doing it. You see a young man who is not educated tertiary-wise, can go learn and set skill from a garage. Give him 10 years. He's educated enough, he's rich enough to employ a civil engineer or mechanical engineer from a university, because he has got his engineering skills from an early age when he went to learn as an apprentice to a vulcanizer or mechanic along the roadside. From a vulcanizing machine, he has a store. From a shop, he has a garage. That's how you upgrade the business. We have the template of the Fulanese in our culture. When they come to Sierra Leone, they have mere cigarette box, small box, sell down mean cigarette and all that. From a cigarette box, they go to a small shop, a kiosk. From a kiosk, they go to a shop. From a shop, they go to shops. Shops, they incorporate their brothers and sisters and wives into hotels.
So are you part of the governance over there?
I'm representing non-profits and the private sector.
Okay.
I work with the government of the day.
Okay. It was a pleasure talking
I also
to you.
serve as the chief executive.
You are a young man, and I think you are a good leader, and I think you will do a very good progress and help your country to develop. And only not country, the coalition of the countries around. This is where the power will come in.